If you want some FIFA 23 coins, please check out MMOXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're fast, cheap and reliable, and if you use code Rema you can get yourself a 5% discount. So what's going on, guys? My name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be going over my complete custom tactics and player instructions for FIFA 23. So we're going to be covering all scenarios in game. So the defensive tactics, ultra defensive tactics, attacking and ultra attacking tactics. Now, unlike my other tactics videos, I'm not going to go over them overly in depth because I've already made videos on a lot of these formations and some of them are similar. So we're just going to be going over them briefly to explain where I use them in each situation. But yeah, let's get right into it, guys. Okay, guys, so typically I start the game off in a 4-2-3-1 narrow, and this is what we use. We have a defensive style on balance, so we can press when we want to press, drop off when we want to drop off. We have width on 42 because again it's narrow, not too wide, and covers the defensive line perfectly. We also have depth on 55 because we don't want through balls being played in behind all the time. Build up play, we use fast build up because again we like to build up the play nice and quick, and even when you don't want to build up quickly, it just makes your players move around a lot better. So you can still play slow if you want to, but fast build up just makes your players move around a bit quicker. Chance creation, as always, guys, direct passing because it's the only one way you get the proper movement out of your players. Attacking width because it's a narrow formation, we like to have it on 40. Players in box, we have this on 7, so we get a nice amount of players into the box but not too many. And corners and free kicks we just have on 2. Now for player instructions, guys, on the strike we have stay central and get in behind because we don't want him drifting off into the wings all the time, and we have get in behind so he makes those best attacking runs. For the central cam we have him on stay forward, and the wide cams we just have get into the box for cross, so they do get into the box for a cross or so you can pass the ball. It just makes their movement better. Now for your more defensive CDM, I just have stay back while attacking, cut passing lanes and cover center because again this player is meant to stay back and help break up the play. The other CDM we have balanced attack and cover center because they're more of a box to box player, so I'm using Renato Sanchez, so you don't want them to stay back while attacking all the time. Left back we have him on balanced attack, basically just default settings because I do like to have that extra attacking width when I am going forward. But right back we just have on stay back while attacking, so we always have at least 3 defenders back, and if we do want to trigger a run forward we can just use the left bumper to do so. So these are the tactics that I use when I go into a game and I'm just playing, so these are the ones I'll use to start off with essentially. Now when the 4-2-3-1 isn't working, or let's say we go a goal down or a couple of goals down and we need to start getting back into the game, I'll usually switch to a 4-2-2-2. So these are the tactics that we use for the 4-2-2-2. We still use a defensive style of balance because I don't really like the pressure tactics. We have width on 42 again because we still like to defend in a narrow shape but also have that width. Depth still on 55 because the last thing you want is to get counter-attacked again and concede a third goal to kill the game off, so we still want to be defensively sound. Build-up play we have it on balance because I don't really like fast build-up in the 4-2-2-2. I think balance works a lot better. Chance creation, again, as always, direct passing because it gives you the best movement. Attacking width we have on 40 because it is still a narrow formation, and actually it works very well because you actually still have a natural amount of width with your attackers set up in the way they are. Players in box, again, we have it on 7 because we don't want to commit too many men forward and we still want to have a lot of people in the box as well. Corners and free kicks are still both on 2. For the player instructions in the 4-2-2-2, I have both strikers on stay central and get in behind because again we don't need them drifting off to the wings because we've already got the wide cams to do that, and we have getting behind just so they make those best attacking runs possible. Now for my right cam I have him on free roam and get into the box for cross. The reason I have him on free roam is because he's a more technical player and I like to make this formation as unpredictable as possible because sometimes it can be very straightforward and predictable for your opponent. Get into the box for cross again just means they will make the better attacking runs. Now for my left cam, who is less of a technical player, I just have him on get into the box for cross, same as the right cam, but instead we don't have him on free roam. Now for my left CDM, the more stay back player, I just have stay back while attacking and cover center. We don't use cut passing lanes in this formation just because I think it works better having it on balanced defense. The right CDM again is just on balanced attack cover center because he's more of a box to box player, which helps transition from defense to attack. The left back again is on default to add that extra width in the formation when we need it and give extra attacking support, and the right back is on stay back while attacking to add extra defensive support, so we always have 3 players back. But yeah, they are the tactics that I use for when I need a goal in a game, but not desperately. Now, when we are losing a game badly and we really need a goal because my opponent's passing it around the back and we have like 5-10 minutes to get back into the game, I will use a 4-2-4, and these are the tactics that we use. We use constant pressure, obviously, because it's the only way to actually get the ball off somebody passing it around the back, because unfortunately this is just how pressure works in FIFA 23. For width, we just have it on 43 still, just because I still like to defend narrowly. I don't like my players being too wide because you just get split open even with like constant pressure. Depth, I like to have it on 75 because we need to press nice and high to get the best chance of getting the ball back and scoring. Build up play, I still just use balanced because I think fast build up you just throw the ball away a lot of the time, so I still use balanced. Chance creation, direct passing, because again it is still the best. Attacking width, we up it to 47 because it's a wider formation, so we do need to utilize the width a bit more. For players in box, I have it on 8, a bit more than what I use for my other tactics, but again we use these tactics for when we actually need to score a goal. Corners and free kicks, we up it to 3 to get those extra players into the box. Now for the player instructions, on my strikers I just have stay central, getting behind, stay forward. This is because it's the most attacking tactics you can use for these players. They will stay central so they don't drift off to the wings. They will try and get in behind the defensive line, and they will stay forward. They're not too bothered about defending because we desperately need a goal. Now for both my wide wingers, I have stay forward, get into the box for cross, because we don't need them to defend when we desperately need a goal. They need to be up there all the time ready to attack, and get into the box for cross means they get more involved when we do create those chances, so that's very important. For both my centre mids, I just have them on cover centre because we don't want them to stay back. Again, we need them to help attack, but I don't like making them too attacking because otherwise it can actually hurt you more than it can help you, if that makes sense. So cover centre so they're still covering the central area, but balanced attack so they do get involved but not too much. Now for both my fullbacks, I have join the attack and overlap. This is to add extra men in the attack and give you that extra width. It's very difficult for your opponent to mark like 6 players in the attack, so quite often you can get very easy chances by doing this. Obviously you're going to be more exposed at the back, but we only use this when we desperately need a goal, so that's what it's good for essentially. Now the last tactic is more of a defensive tactic, but also not really. I mainly use this one as like an alternative style for when like my narrower formations aren't working. So I use the 4-3-3-2 because again it's a wider formation and helps against more narrow opponents, especially when the narrow formations are being countered. And the tactics we use for the 4-3-3 second variation are a defensive style on balanced, because again I like to press when I want to press. Width we have on 42 as always because I find it to be the most balanced defensive width. Depth we have on 58 just because it's not too high and it's not too low. Build up play we have on balance because again fast build up in some formations makes your players move a bit too quickly to the point the formation doesn't work properly, so balanced is better in a 4-3-3 I think. Chance creation as ever is direct passing because it's the only one which will give us the best movement. Width, because it is a wider formation, we have it on 47, so we do utilize that width in a wider formation. And we actually have players on box on 6 because we don't want to commit too many of the midfield players into the box when we are creating chances, so that avoids counter attacks. And corners and free kicks we have it on 2 again. Now for players instructions for the 4-3-3, on the strike we have stay central. That's all I have because I like him to stay central. I don't need him to drift off into the wings when we've already got wingers. The reason I don't have him on like getting behind in a 4-3-3 is because a lot of the time you want your striker to play in the wingers so they can cross in the ball, if that makes sense. So it helps with a bit of the transition in this formation. For the wingers we just leave them alone because I think they work perfectly fine when you don't give them any specific instructions. That's just what I've noticed in the 4-3-3. For my right centre mid, who is more of a box-to-box player, we just have cover centre because again he's more of a box-to-box player. We don't need him to stay back all the time, so just putting him on cover centre means he'll cover the middle of the pitch, but again he will also attack and defend, so you know it's a nice balance. For the CDM we just have stay back while attacking and cover centre because obviously we don't need him joining in the attacks. For the left centre mid I have get forward and cover centre, so it adds like an extra bit of attacking support because sometimes you can find your attackers isolated, so it's important to have that extra player that does join in the attack. Now for the left back and right back we just have them on stay back while attacking because we don't really need extra width when we've already got wingers, so it makes more sense for them to stay back while you're attacking. But yeah, they are my complete custom tactics and player instructions for FIFA 23. These are the ones that I use when I'm playing in Rivals and Fut Champions. And yeah, I hope you guys have found this useful or informative, and if you have, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will catch you all later. Peace.